My name is Victoria Sellers. My sponsor is TMMK in the Powertrain Division, and my personal safety commitment is to always cross aisleways at designated intersections. And today I will be talking about 3 important aspects of the Toyota production system. The first of these aspects is stabilized work. Stabilized work is a repeatable work activity that happens consistently to reach a target goal. Stabilized work can only be achieved through the use of 4 other aspects of the TPS system, and these aspects are standardized work, problem solving, Kaizen, and Heijunka. And without these 4 aspects, it is impossible to reach a stabilized work condition. And stabilized work is a condition and not an activity, meaning that it is something that is achieved through the use of these 4 other aspects and not something that can be practiced without them. Stabilized work is not fighting fires all day. That is, it is responding only to emergencies and responding to these emergencies quickly and without thought or planning. An example of stabilized work in maintenance is responding to unplanned breakdowns online. In order to respond to these breakdowns in a quick and effective manner, a maintenance team member needs to have the required training and experience in order to do so. Along with this, these breakdowns are generally emergencies and not just every and-on pull for a machine. Because every and-on pull for a machine generally are just little things that can be fixed either by the production team member or the team leader, and not necessarily considered a breakdown. Another important aspect in the TPS system is the pull system. The pull system is the amount or type of work for a product is determined by the next process down in a stabilized system or standardized system. The pull system differs from a push system in that a push system, the product or the amount of the product or type of product is determined by a certain quota for that needs to be reached. Whereas in a pull system, the amount or type of a product is determined by what the customer needs or what the customer wants, and not necessarily by a quota. And in a pull system, this helps to significantly decrease the amount of overproduction muda that is created within an manufacturing environment. An example of the pull system in maintenance is maintenance training. In my building, we have a specific area for training called the dojo. And every couple of weeks, either my team leader or another one of my team members are pulled to the dojo in order to have class on either a new technology that may be introduced to our line soon, or a refresher course on a technology that we have on our line but don't necessarily get the chance to work with or use very often, but is still very important to know. And it is that team member's responsibility after gaining that training to come back and go over the highlights of it with the rest of the team. Another important aspect of the TPS system is the muda of overproduction. The muda of overproduction is having too much of a product or item, so much that it takes up space and is just generally wasteful all around. The muda of overproduction either takes up necessary space, is more cost than what is needed, or requires extra effort on the part of team members or team leaders. An example of the muda of overproduction in my area is that right next to our shop, we have what we call a storage aisle. And in this storage aisle, we keep a lot of smaller parts that we use more consistently on a daily basis, such as reed switches, Yazaki switches, limit switches, proc switches, generally just different type of switches. But we keep these in this storage aisle in order to be able to quickly replace a part online if it goes out. An example of this more specifically would be Yazaki switches. I know that within the last 4 or 5 days that I've been at work, I have replaced about 4 Yazaki switches online that have all broken or gone out. And instead of spending the 15 or 20 minutes that it would take for me to walk back to our parts store and get this switch, it only took me 5 minutes to run back to our storage aisle, get a replacement switch, and then be back out online in order to replace it. So while the storage aisle is considered overproduction, as it does take up what could be very useful space, it does actually help us in saving time. So it is muda, but it is a necessary muda. And that is the end of my presentation on 3 important aspects of the Toyota production system. Thank you.